Welcome to Bro Till We Fall. This is your boy Teo, aka Tony Ant-Man Oso. This is another episode of Bro Till We Fall. Actually, it's Bro Till We Fall news. And this week we got a few things that happened. We're going to start with WWE, of course, and WWE's Raw, which had a few things that occurred. The first thing is started off with the return of Rhea Ripley, aka Mommy, returning and doing her in-ring segment to let the world know that she is back, put Liv Morgan on notice. And this led to an interruption by, of course, Dom, or I should say Dum Dum. Anyway, Dom came to the ring to, apologize for all these things. And he spent most of the show apologizing. I don't think it was till the end that it looks like Rhea is trying to accept his apology. But I'm gonna just give you my analogy on this scenario, and I'm gonna give my shout outs to Wrestling World over there, um, and the clubhouse. We discussed this, and my analogy on this is that I believe that Dum Dum is going to cause Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam because she's gonna face Liv Morgan for her title again. I think that he's gonna do the same thing he's done in the last couple of weeks and months, and cause her to lose that match, which would cause a division amongst not only her but Judgment Day, and he may join Liv Morgan after that. And I believe Finn Balor, who looks like he has a little bit of animosity against Damon Priest, may also join this triad, and they may become a whole new faction. Something that was said over there, shout to my boy Meek, that maybe there'll be a new Judgment Day. Who knows? Maybe Damien and Rhea Ripley will, create a whole nother Judgment Day, or they may join another faction, which is what I believe they should do. So, with that being said, we're going to see what happens. But moving on to another shenanigans that I call Chad Gable, who has been tormented by the White Six for the last couple of weeks, came up with his own little faction, which have been rumored throughout the rumor mill of wrestling world that he would be joining the Creed brothers, and they be joining it and they becoming a faction. And they did. And they beat down Bo Dallas in the middle of the ring. And he laughed about it, which should have told him that something crazy was about to happen. And the Wyatt Six came to his rescue, but this sets up for a fight and giving the Wyatt Six a much needed competition, because I'm tired of them just handing out videotapes and do something in the ring to see what they're about, which I already know most of them anyway, but we want to see them in action. If anything, Bray Wyatt did compete in the ring with his crew. So we're going to see what happens. Um, Again, Judgment Day did beat down Braun Strowman, which I feel maybe he will be joining his family soon. And that would be a whole nother, and that's if the Judgment Day stays together after what I just said. So that leads to a whole nother much needed competition for the Wyatt Six. So we shall see what is going on with that. Not much else to really, talk about on Raw. There was a few matches that were, it looks like there's a new triad also forming. Um, yeah, you got Zoe Starks, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville. So this triad looks like it's going to be a nice working environment. Let's see how they work together. It's just too many egos on that whole crew for me. But to no avail, they look like they work pretty good together. So let's see how Sonya Deville can keep this crew together. So, and that's what's going on right now in Raw. Like I said, I'm looking at Jay Uso. They're looking like they're trying to push him from rumors that I'm hearing, just rumors. And I would like to see that. Again, Damian Priest is also looking past Gunther, and they had their in-ring segment. Damian Priest had a major battle with Braun Strowman. Like I said, that led to, the Judgment Day beating them down in the end. But at the end of the day, he beat Braun Strowman fair and square. There's no interruptions or nothing. So that means that Gunther needs to be worried. After Gunther made his comments about him being trailer trash and all of that, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm from the Bronx. That's my boy. I don't like a lot of things Damian Priest do, but we represent our own. At this moment, I want him to beat Gunther's ass. I'm just being honest with you. I want him to beat Gunther's ass. I don't like that disrespect like that. You know what I'm saying? I come from the projects. I come from the hood my damn self. So I respect Damian Priest and his grind. I done been homeless too. Me and him been through the same type of grinds. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect him on the level of where he came from and where he at. Same for myself, where I came from and where I'm at. Two different ways. You know, we are living in the today, not the yesterday. And Gunther and his uppity, conceitedness needs to be cut down to size. And I pray and hope that Damian beat the hell out of him. That's just what I got for that. All right, we're gonna move on to SmackDown. We're gonna move on to NXT first, and then we're gonna get to SmackDown. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna come back with NXT next. All right, we're back. We're gonna talk about NXT. Um, we are not gonna be long with NXT. Not a lot of things happen on NXT this week that would be considered news or new excitement and whatsoever. Um, I just have questions because now that Ethan Page is the champion, what are they going to do with Trick? Because if you keep Trick on the back end of the burner, eventually he's going to burn out. People are not going to be yelling for him no more. They're going to find a new hero to yell for. So I don't know what NXT is going to do with Trick, but you can't just keep going after the championship, or maybe he need to go against Oprah Femi, give Oprah some competition, which was the highlight of the night. Oprah Femi did challenge Chase U's very own Duke Hudson, and Duke gave him a run for his money. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I figured it was gonna be like that because Duke is definitely the size for size, pound for pound. Against Oprah Femi, I see that as ultimate competition, and he can do some moves in that ring for a big man that Oprah can do. So at the end of the day, Oprah did win and keep his belt. He didn't know he was in a fight. He wasn't a slouch. Unlike Ethan Page's match. Now, Ethan Page thought that he was just going to go through this dude. Now, honestly, I thought he was just going to go through him as well. But this dude, Dante Chen, is no joke, and Ethan thought that he was just going to be a run over, but he wasn't. He gave him some competition as well. But again, Ethan Page is still the champion. And I think he's going to be the champ for a while. Ethan Page does have the experience of a champion, and he definitely is champion, caliber. He has a lot of arsenal in his tank, and he can really hurt somebody and use that, if the WWE allows him to do that. Roxanne Perez, let's talk about her for a second. She's out there making her statements. There's a lot of people that's going to be coming for her. If you don't know, I think I did announce it last week that Stephanie Valkyrie is now signed to WWE. So she definitely mentioned her in her comments. So I can't wait to see her make her debut, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be in NXT. Again, Roxanne is pissed off, especially with her facing these little people that really are not going to give her competition after facing such major competition from TNA and from other areas. I think it's time. Maybe they need to pull people from other rosters in WWE, just like they did TNA, and give her some real competition. Either that or move her to the main roster if you think she's that daggone good. But that's just my opinion. See some backstage shenanigans, So, I mean, there's a lot going on in NXT. Don't get me wrong. I'm entertained, but nothing that makes our news. So, with that being said, we're gonna move on to WWE SmackDown because there's a lot of things going on over there. So of course, we know the bloodline is still running rampant, and I'm gonna just jump into that real quick. So Cody came out, he don't have no. We thought he didn't have no backup, but because they took out Randy Orton last week, so now this week he brought out KO Kevin Owens. He came out with him, and now they took out Kevin Owens this week, which they made the statement. Listen, anybody that decides to join up with Cody Rhodes is going to be taken out because we take that as a disrespect. That's what the bloodline said. And at the end of their match, because they faced the Austin Theory, and here's the thing, you know, when I look at this whole situation, Randy done got no friends like that. He may have to pull some people from outside of the the scope because remember he came on NXT um and told the champ then Trick Williams that he was going to have competition from other rosters. Maybe he needed to go to TNA and pull some people from the roster or something. Because right now the bloodline done took out every friend that he got. So it was him, Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens versus the A-Town Down under Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, because they was talking smack about how he got them beat down. He ain't caused them to get beat down. Bloodline just felt like they need to beat them down. And he probably was pissed off at the shenanigans they did when they were imitating The Rock. So at the end of the day, they got it because they deserved it. Nothing to do with Cody Rhodes. All right, so we're gonna move on past that. We had an in-ring segment, which I thought was great with LA Knight. It was the contract signing with him versus Logan Paul. He finally getting what he wants, and I can't wait to see that match at SummerSlam. I want to see that. Although, I mean, I say it like this. I said it before. LA Knight is always one step ahead of Logan Paul. So we're going to see how that turns out. I believe he's going to get the belt. You got Bianca Belair with Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And that didn't, Bianca won that with easy. That was an easy one. So at the end of the day, still there's no real competition for them. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know where they're taking Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I've said and posted I've said my opinion many times. Jade Cargill needs to be solo and they need to build her up. And that's just my opinion on that. We did see Tiffany in the ring. She got her briefcase destroyed by the champ, you know. So it's like I said, there's a few things going on SmackDown that's just off the chain and off the hook. But again, just like Raw, it's not as much news as I want it to be right now. But I guess they're waiting for all of the changes to happen. And they are building up to a great SmackDown. I mean, great SummerSlam, which I can't wait to see. And speaking of which, me and my brothers will be here to give our best, I guess, our predictions on what's going to happen on SummerSlam. So, we'll definitely be doing that. But back to Tiffany Stratton, she faced Mitchin with Nia Jax in her corner. And it was a great match, but Mitchin got the win thanks to Bailey. So Bailey helped her win that match. And I'm pretty sure setting up for another tag team with Mitchin and Bailey versus Tiffany and Queen Nia Jackson. They've been a nice team. And I'll be honest with you, those two together will be the ones to give competition to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I'm pretty sure of that. So can't wait till they get to that storyline. But that's all I got for SmackDown. It was great. It was awesome. Again, the Bloodline did their thing. They destroyed everybody in the end. Not Randy, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens got destroyed. I don't think Kevin is coming back next week to help Cody Rhodes, so he needs to find some friends. All right, that's all I got for WWE, period, until SummerSlam. But I'll be back next week. I'll be out of town, but I'll be back next week to give you my news on the on everything that's going on in WWE as well, and keep y'all posted even out of town. All right, coming up next, we're gonna hit off with AEW. A lot going on, but I'm gonna put it all in one show because everything that happened in AEW, it can be wrapped up in one show. All right, so I'll be back after these messages. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Santos, entrepreneur, venture capitalist. I own some of the biggest brands of clothing, Berkson Clothing, and other stores, MLW Medical Supply, and Pros Business Solutions, where I help others get their businesses and dreams started. Well, today I want to talk to you about a new group that I'm a part of. It's called Next Level Investors, and we invest in real estate. So I'm here to ask for your help. If you're walking by a property, jogging or driving by, and you see a property for rent, give me a call. Let me know you saw something. And it doesn't matter what it looked like. It don't matter what city you're in. Just give me a holler and let me know. And that number is 443-902-3452. Again, that number is 443-902-3452. And if you do me that solid, I'm going to give you a jewel. So today, I'm going to offer you something that you may need. A lot of people suffer from pain. They can't sleep at night. Well, I'm going to introduce you to LifeWave. LifeWave is a new breakthrough technology. It's been around for years, so it's not brand new. But this is definitely something that you may need. It's a patch. It's a simple patch. I wear it myself. It helps you to restore your stem cells and give you rejuvenation. It gives you energy. It can help you with your eating habits. It can help you with your pain and anything that you're going through. So if you're interested not only in using the patch for yourself, but being a brand partner like I am, then you can also reach out to me on lifewave.com/asantos360. Or again, you could call that number, 443-902-3452, and I'll tell you all about it. And how you can also get paid for helping others and be a blessing to yourself as well. Because it works. Trust me, it works. That's all I got. Thank you so much for tuning in to me. And I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, we are back. Let's jump into AEW Dynamite. This right here was the greatest AEW Dynamite ever. It was 250 shows, and they really lived up to it. This was the match of the month, match of the week, match of the year. Something everybody wanted to see and waited for. MJF versus Will Ospreay. And it was for the championship. And let me tell you something. You know, we as fans, we say, we want a lot of things, and then we get it, and then we don't know how to take it. There's some that want this, some that want that. And so a lot of people was like, this was a pay-per-view caliber match, and it should not have been aired on television. And first of all, it ain't your money. It ain't your money. This is Tony Khan's money. But furthermore, a person like myself, I know I said it. What you do on pay-per-view, because all of AEW's pay-per-views, for me, I'm speaking from my perspective, have been on point. Greatest pay-per-views ever. Greatest matches ever. And I remember saying he should do the same thing that he do on the pay-per-views and bring it to television. And he did. He brought it. This match was back and forth. They went over the time period, timeline. I mean, this is like almost an hour and so match. This match took so much out of them that at the end of the match, they needed oxygen. This is what you call Iron Man match. This is a real Iron Man match. At the end, MJF got the belt. He earned it. He cheated, but he earned it. At the end of the day, Will Ospreay gave everything. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've said it many times, Will Ospreay in every match that he has, he gives 110%, which is what makes him the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time right now. I don't give a damn what WWE fans say. Will Ospreay is the man. And he will make it in the Hall of Fame. There's no one like him right now. He is the GOAT. Second on that list is Swerve Strickland, who faced Okada and won. So at the end of the day, there was some hell of a matches on AEW Dynamite. I have no complaints about AEW Dynamite or anything else. They really opened the door for me. It was one of those things where I'm like, yo, and what they're doing right now, with Tony Storm and Mariah May is awesome. I like the turn, how they set up the storyline. And Mariah May came out there dressed as Tony Storm, still, poking the bear, as we call it. I will say this though, I'm lacking enthusiasm when it comes to the CEO. They need to do more with that. It's great to see the Dr. Britt Baker return, and hopefully, that will hype up things for the CEO, but she needs more right now. She's lost my, I don't know. I don't really have that oomph that I had when she first came there. I was excited. It's somewhere it died out. I don't know what happened. Anyway, but that was the most excitement of the night. MJF, Swerve Strickland. We now know that the Acclaim is a part of the Blood and Guts that's coming next week. Next week, Wednesday, is going to be off the chain. If you don't do nothing else, you better tune in to AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts next week. You got on one side, you got the Acclaim led by Swerve Strickland, and it's just, oh my goodness, going up against the EVPs. Man, it is just going to be crazy. That is going to be bananas. On one side, you got the EVPs along with the cowboy there who decided to come back anything to face Swerve Strickland. Adam Page. You got Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, of course the EVPs themselves, Okada and the Young Bucks. And on the other side, you got Swerve. And just to make note, Swerve did not defeat Okada in a pinfall. He was attacked and it was a disqualification, but he still get the win. A win is a win. But that shows that they were afraid, and they thought they had it. They had an upper hand. They thought it was 5-on-4, but their fifth man showed his face. Came from the Raptors, none other than Darby Allin. Darby Allin is the fifth man for AEW. Again, like you got the leader Swerve, the Acclaimed, along with Mark Briscoe, and now Darby Allin. So you got your men lined up. It's going to be a slobber knocker. A shout out to Jay. So it's just going to be one of those nights next week. If you ain't doing nothing else, make sure you tune in to Blood and Guts AEW Dynamite. And that's what basically ended off Dynamite. We're going to jump right into Collision. Um, so we saw a lot of things on Collision. Um, we saw the return of Darby Allin, who challenged Jack Perry at All In, um, for the belt because he has the TNA championship. We saw the debut of Hologram. It wasn't a good debut for me. I really didn't enjoy that. FTW, who had a lot to say and claimed the championship at All In versus the Young Bucks. Hikaru Shida, who whooped Sky Blue's ass. She couldn't even finish the match. She is no joke. I can't wait for her because she's challenging Dr. Britt Baker at Blood and Guts next week as well. That's what's happening in Blood and Guts. Lance Archer goes off whipping all ass in the backstage area. I don't know what happened, but I don't see Jake the Snake anywhere, so he may be on his own and just causing havoc, showing what he can do. Ray Phoenix defeated Tony Nese in the Premier Athletes. I don't know why they call themselves the Premier Athletes. They're not Premier. They keep losing. I don't understand that. Lumberjack match. Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa, which was a great match. That was off the chain. Give my hands up to them. They really did a great job with that. However, Deonna Purrazzo got the win with help. So the Thunder Rosa need to stop. And every week they're fighting each other is ridiculous. And the trios match, which ended it all. Christian Cage and the Patriarchy versus the Bullet Club Gold for the trios belts. And the Patriarchy got the belts. But they have to worry now about the House of Black because the lights flicker to let them know, oh, yeah, we watching you. And House of Black can get two birds with one stone. They want to get their hands on Christian anyway and get the belts at the same time. And I believe they're going to do it. Well, that's all I got for AEW. Been an interesting week. Can't wait for next week. It's going to be the craziest week ever. Starting on Dynamite. Jericho is still talking crap. He is who he is. He's got a hell of a match next week too. Can't wait to see that. But it's going to be off the chain. I can't wait for next week. I got so much that I'm going to be able to talk about. But I'm not done. Coming up next, we're going to talk about TNA Slammiversary. Coming up next after these messages. Hey there, family. This is your boy Teo, aka Tony Ant-Man Oso, for those that know me. I'm just giving you an update on our show, Brawl Till We Fall. We got some changes. Brawl Till We Fall is now going to be a news show. It's going to be updates just like we've been doing, but it is a news show now. So we're doing more broadcast news about what's going on in the wrestling world. So with that being said, we still will have our Let's Talk About It special Thursday segment. It's going to be per month as per pay-per-view. Maybe 2 times per month. Depends on the pay-per-view because we have AEW and WWE. Also TNA, who is also doing their pay-per-view. So we've been covering all of the 3 major wrestling shows. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And you can also catch us on Brawl Till We Fall at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we are, of course, on Brawl Till We Fall, YouTube.com. And that's where you'll catch our shows. You can also go on Facebook and go into our groups. We have 2 groups on Facebook, so you'll never miss what's going on in wrestling today. Thank you so much for being a fan, and I hope to see you there in our rooms later. We're back. We're about to talk about TNA because a lot of things happen over at Slammiversary. So let's jump into Slammiversary 2024. It was not a good night for the system. The first time I can actually say this, the system actually got beat. So anyway, we're going to start off. Kushida, who used to be in WWE, defeated Rich Swann, which you're going to see another surprise how our NXT lent some of their wrestlers over to TNA. So it was not a one-sided deal because we've seen Joe Hendry over there a few times. So now we got some back and forth. So I feel like there's a unity now. But we're going to get to that in a minute. TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. The Militia, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich, defeated Spitfire. And that was the good thing. They retained the title. So the system didn't totally lose everything. Eric Young defeated Hammerstone. Um, the Broken Matt Hardy versus JDC. This was a definite great match. It's good to see Matt Hardy still doing his thing, and he got the win in that match. TNA World Tag Team Championship, the System versus ABC, and this is what I'm talking about. ABC is the new TNA Tag Team Champion. Yeah, so yeah, System was not on point last night. Um, I'm gonna skip a couple of matches because some one match is just definitely just not even worth even talking about. But you had the Rascals, which we know is the reuniting of our boy, which he needed to go to Wes Lee and his crew. Um, the Rascals, they fought against no quarter catch crew, which you know is in NXT. They came over there and they gave them a good show. It was a great match. The Rascals beat them, which there's going to be, there's friction with the no quarter catch crew. So I don't know what's going on with that, but they need to get on the same page. It's just some miscommunications going on over there. But that right there was a great match, though. They gave TNA a great show. So I'm happy with that. Montreal Street Fight, TNA Digital Media Championship and Canadian International Heavyweight title, AJ Francis versus PCO. Great match. PCO is the new champion, and then from what I heard, rumors says that she also got engaged. So that was great. TNA Knockouts champion, as we've seen multiple times also on NXT, Jordan Grace versus Ash by Elegance, which she needed to. And I said this before. Every time Jordan Grace tried to do something, Ash comes out to interrupt. So she wanted that. She wanted that fight, that smoke. She got it. And the winner is still Jordan Grace, still whipped her ass. So you're not really messing with no Jordan Grace. It's a big girl. I'm sorry. Mustafa Ali got what he got coming to him, and he lost. So he lost against Speedball Mike Bailey. So that right there was what you call karma. All right, so now to the main event, the six-way elimination world title match. And everybody was rooting for Joe Henry to win this. He is the fan favorite. I'm a Moose fan, of course. But to no avail, I am not upset about who actually did take that title off Moose, even though it was never a one-on-one. And I don't think that we all right, let me just tell you who won. Nick Namath, he's the winner, who y'all know him as Dolph Ziggler. And one-on-one, I don't think he can beat Moose. I'm just gonna say he has all the experience and all of that, but that power he does not have. But in this way that he won, the elimination match shows that he does have skill, that he can actually be in there and be a contender, and he can carry that belt because he has a lot of in-ring experience. Don't get me wrong, I don't knock and take nothing from Dolph Ziggler. He has faced some of the biggest over in WWE. But Moose just has a power. But I understand Moose needed to give up the belt. However, they treated him like a celebrity. I want to see how they treat Dolph Ziggler now that he has the belt and how long he's going to keep it. Because the system, like I said, didn't have a good night. They might be really upset about this situation. So we're going to see in the following weeks, we're going to follow this story because this is great news for TNA. It's going to boost things up for me because I'm going to be putting the more TNA news out there. But that's all I got for this week's news. You tuned in to BTWF News, Brawl Till We Fall. And thank you for joining me. And I'll catch you next week with more news and more exciting things that can be coming up. Especially as a wrestling fan, this is the most exciting time to be a wrestling fan. And we're going to be enjoying this. This is what's up. All right. Peace. I'm out. And until next time, thank you.